Ho, ho, ho! Welcome back to the Fit Finance Sessions Advent Calendar Series. And today we're going to open the little window. And what I can see inside is I've got this desire to give my naughty little elves a little gift. But I know some of them get a little bit drunk on the whiskey sometimes and they might run off with the money. And I want to make sure they don't do that. Is there any way I can protect my gifts for them and make sure they use it sensibly? Tom, over to you.
The best way to protect your assets is using a trust, and often if lots of people get confused with what trusts are, but there's two main types. There's a bare trust, which means that whatever assets you put into that trust can only go to that beneficiary that you've selected at the outset, and there's nothing that can stop that from happening. The other option is a discretionary trust, where you place assets into the trust and there's trustees who are designed to look after the trust, and the beneficiaries, whilst they're generally down as asset classes, say children or grandchildren, the trustees have ultimate discretion over who receives those benefits. And the aim is that you pick someone that you trust to be in charge of that money and not give it to the naughty elves to spend on drinking whiskey. That's the general concept.
They can be very naughty, these elves. They get a bit bored of making xylophones all day long. Tim, tell me, how do people use trust generally?
Well, generally speaking, there's two different avenues which trusts can be used, and one is where you're using them whilst you're alive, so you're paying money into these things whilst you're alive for the benefit of other people. For example, if mum and dad want to give some children or a child some money for a house deposit, for example, you could gift that money via a trust to that person, which would then provide protective benefits for that money off the other side, particularly if they're married. Or of course, when people pass away, so using the trust in conjunction with their wills, to rather than just directly via a will, assigning assets to the remaining spouse and equally down to the children in equal shares, as normally is the case. Without going into detail now, we use a trust framework sort of as a middleman between those parties to provide various benefits in doing so. And it also can be used for inheritance tax planning as well, which start using that 7-year clock, which most people are familiar with.
Sounds like a great idea. It's the sort of thing that I could use then, so I can give my money away. Mrs. Claus can be the trustee and make sure those naughty little elves don't get their hands on the money too quickly or use it for any nefarious purpose. Brilliant. Very clear. Thanks, guys. Looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.